advisor to the President, the office of the Vice President. The chairman of the occasion, the former President of the Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo GCR. Your Excellency, the former Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar GCON, Your Excellencies, the former presiding officers of the National Assembly, let me especially recognize Right Honorable Ihedioha CON, the celebrant and his dear wife, members of the National Assembly, both serving and past, here President, Your Excellency, the former Secretary General of Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Anyoku, the keynote and speaker that just left. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. The speaker had desired to be here, but because of the prayer season, he went to Umrah, he went to Saudi Arabia, and asked me to deliver his speech on his behalf. The wordings are his. He's just borrowing my voice. I will abridge it because of the time that I allocated for this. It is with immense pride and honor that I join in Nigerians, present and former colleagues, and all guests who have assembled here today to celebrate one of our own, the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, His Excellency Right Honorable Ihedioha of Mbise, Imo State of Nigeria. For 12 years, Right Honorable Ihedioha served the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a lawmaker from the hallowed chambers of the House of Representatives. He served first as a member, then as a chief whip, later as Deputy Speaker of the House. This is not forgetting that he also served briefly as the Speaker during his period when his principal went to be the governor of his state. Looking at his political trajectory, there is no doubt that Right Honorable Ihedioha is a well-rounded lawmaker, an absolute politician, a great voice for the oppressed, one who seeks to do good for the people. I'm therefore grateful to the Almighty God for blessing him with youthful looks and good health, even at 60. This colloquium in his honor is indeed meritorious and deserving. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Ihedioha's time at the House of Representatives were eventful years that added value to lawmaking and the development of our country. He was chairman of the House Committee on Marine Transport, in which role he was actively instrumental to passing key legislations that have positively impacted the Nigerian maritime sector. These included the International Convention for the Safety at Sea Ratification and Enforcement Act of 2004 and the International Convention on the Civil Liberties for Oil Pollution Damage Ratification and Enforcement Act of 2006. These laws aim at enhancing Nigeria's participation in the international maritime framework. Between 2007 and 2011, he served as the chief whip of the House, role that underscored his growing influence and ability to mobilize support within the gender. His time as chief whip was signposted by his organizational skill and political acumen, which marked him out as a dependable compatriot. Ihedioha's most prominent role in the House came from 2011 to 2015. When he served as Deputy Speaker, his elevation to the position was dramatic. However, it was a result of strategic alliance that saw Aminu Tambuwa elected as Speaker. As Deputy Speaker, Ihedioha played a critical role in legislative oversight and leadership. He was very effective as the chairman of the Ad hoc Committee on the new legislative agenda, where he produced a comprehensive document adopted by the Seventh House to guide his policies and strategies. This agenda was also instrumental in deepening democracy and advancing public welfare, to which he personally committed his legislative journey. This question that we are addressing today is democracy failing in Africa. Calls for deep introspection, especially from the political class, those who have had the privilege of leading their constituencies and all their countries under the banner of democracy. However, I would rather that we ask, how is democracy growing in Africa? For me, it depends on what we make of democracy in Africa. Only by understanding that and deeply reflecting on it, can we be in a position to say if democracy has added value to development and growth in the continent or not. For me and the 10th House of Representatives, democracy has come to stay in Africa and indeed Nigeria. It is a process which over the past 2 decades has crystallized into an acceptable model of leadership. And it is being consolidated in our nation. Nigeria is making steady progress despite varying challenges, characteristics of a developing nation. One of the basic features of democracy is the periodic conduct of elections to choose leaders to whom the people, as argued by classical English philosopher Thomas Hobbes in his book Leviathan, willfully submit their will and agree to be governed by the few. Hobbes tells us that to escape the state of nature where life is brutish, nasty, and short, like Bishop said, individuals surrender their individual rights and freedom to a central authority. In return, they get protection and security which allows the individual to live in peace and safety. This is the essence of democracy. Democracy guarantees the right of the people to hold divergent views, form, and belong to association of their will and conduct, their affairs, with respect to the right of others. Therefore, looking at it from this perspective, there is no doubt that democracy has added value to life on the continent and in Nigeria. It has guaranteed structural and systemic changes and sustainable growth. It has been responsible for the development of our societies and promoted good neighborliness and proper order of society. It has given us a platform in the legislature to make laws, good governance of our country. Today, in the 10th House of Representatives, we develop a legislative agenda and capture the development agenda of the President and capture the development agenda of the present administration to address issues that affect the people. And in less than 2 years in office, we have received and considered over 2,000 bills, out of which over 100 bills have been passed into law. We received and considered over 1,000 motions, received close to 500 petitions, out of which over 300 were considered an appropriate legislative action taken. Some of the key legislation included the Minimum Wage Amendment Bill, which more than doubled the national minimum wage, student loan, access to higher education Act 2024, which has provided Nigerian families and children access to non-interest loans to ensure that no child is left behind in education in Nigeria. The Judicial Office Holder Salaries and Allowances Bill 2024, which has become an act aimed at ensuring fair compensation for judicial officers to protect judicial independence and promote efficiency in that arm of government. The Cybercrime Prohibition and Prevention etc. Act of 2024, which strengthens measures to combat the rising cases of and threat of cybercrime to ensure a safer digital space for individuals and businesses in Nigeria. However, it is not yet in the round. According to Democracy Index 2024, published by the Economic Intelligence Unit, EIE, of the Economics in February 2025, 45% of the world's population live in a democracy. 39% live under authoritarian rule, while 15% live in hybrid regime. The EIU described hybrid regime as government that combine electoral democracy with authoritarian tendencies. Except for about 10 African countries, the rest are grouped under the hybrid index. There are a plethora of other studies and indexes that score Africa low on the practice of democracy. There is no doubt in the fact that the democracy highlighted by regular election has not been exactly what we expect. But it will be unhelpful to measure the progress of democracy simply by looking at how regular elections are conducted. Therefore, we should focus on other elements of democracy, which includes the independence of the independence of the judiciary, protection of individual rights, freedom, protection of minority rights, free and fair election, accountability and transparency, respect for separation of power, civic participation and engagement, independent media and freedom of expression, respect for the outcome of election. These are the things that define democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me round up by saying once again, congratulations to our brother, His Excellency, the Right Honorable Ihedioha for his 60th birthday, and we wish him many more years of good health and service to our fatherland. Thank you and God bless.